I was only supposed to pass through the small mountain town of Harlow Ridge. It was late, my car was overheating, and the nearest mechanic wouldn't open until morning, so I checked into a motel and decided to walk around to stretch my legs. The town was almost empty. Quiet streets, flickering street lamps, cold wind, the kind of place that looks normal during the day but turns unsettling after sunset. As I walked past an old fountain, I realized something strange. Every house had its curtains open, every single window, and behind each window, people stood perfectly still, facing the street, not moving, not blinking, just watching me. I ignored it. I told myself maybe they were curious about strangers, but then I noticed something even stranger. All of them wore wooden masks, hand-carved, painted, some smiling, some crying, some twisted into uncomfortable shapes. My stomach tightened. I quickened my pace and headed back towards the motel, but that is when I saw them. A group of people at the end of the street, standing in a half circle, blocking my way. Each of them wore a wooden mask too, but one of them stepped forward, holding something wrapped in cloth. He was tall with a heavy coat and a stiff posture. When he spoke, his voice was calm, almost gentle, surprisingly. "We've been waiting for you," he said. I froze. I think you've mistaken me for someone else." The man shook his head slowly. "There is no mistake. You have always belonged here. We carved this for you." He extended the cloth, and when he unwrapped it, my heart slammed against my ribs. It was a mask of my own face. Not similar, not inspired by me, a perfect copy. My eyebrows, my nose, my lips, even the small scar on my chin. "What is this?" I whispered. "A gift," the man said. "A welcome, a return." "I'm not from here," I insisted. "I have never been here in my life." The group exchanged slow, eerie nods, as if that answer pleased them. That is what everyone says before they remember. Something about that sentence chilled my bones. I backed away. "I need to go. I'm leaving." The masked people stepped aside, creating a path. The tall man gave me the mask again. "Take it," he said. "It belongs to you." I didn't want to touch it, but something inside me pushed me to. When my fingers brushed the wood, I felt warmth, like the mask had been held by someone with my exact body heat moments before. I dropped it immediately. The tall man sighed. "He is not ready," he said to the group. And just like that, they all turned away and walked in different directions, disappearing into alleys and shadowed streets. I ran back to my motel room, barricaded the door with a chair, and stayed awake all night. But at exactly 3:18 a.m., someone knocked. Slowly, calmly, patiently. I didn't open the door. Morning came. My car was repaired. I left without breakfast, without goodbye, without looking back. But as I drove away, I passed a small wooden stand near the town border. Something hung from a rope. My mask. The same one they tried to give me, except this time the eyes and mouth were carved with a new expression, one that looked angry, disappointed. I drove faster. I managed to forget the incident for a few weeks, until the first letter arrived at my apartment. No return address. Inside was a note. "We carved your face for a reason." A week later, I found something outside my door. The mask. My mask. Now it wasn't just carved to look like me. It was carved to look like I was screaming. Last night, I woke up to the sound of wood scraping very softly. The mask was no longer on my table. It was hanging from my bedroom doorknob, like someone had placed it there, like someone had been inside my room. And this morning, every mirror in my apartment shows me wearing the mask, even though I'm not. What is this cult? What is happening to me? I think they are coming back for me. They won't let me be in peace. And I think the mask itself isn't finished yet. People say I disappeared for 3 days. I swear it was only a few hours. I remember driving at night, taking a shortcut through the woods, when a group of people wearing dark robes stepped into the road. Before I could react, someone smashed my window and everything went black. I woke up tied to a stone platform in a ruined building deep in the forest. Torches flickered. The air smelled like dirt, old smoke, and something metallic, blood. Around me stood at least 20 people in long black robes and animal skull masks. One stepped forward. His mask was a ram's skull, curved and huge. "You have been chosen," he said. I screamed, I struggled, I begged. They didn't respond to anything I said. They began a chant, low and rhythmic. The ground vibrated. The torches changed color, orange to red, red to black, black to bright white. Then the stone beneath me started to heat up. My skin burned, my bones shook. The ram-masked leader raised a knife carved from bone. I closed my eyes, preparing for the worst. But before he could strike, the fire around us exploded outward. The cult fell silent. They stepped back. The leader dropped the knife. It shattered on the stone. Then they all dropped to their knees. "The ritual has chosen him," the leader shouted. Everyone bowed their heads to me. I was surprised and disgusted at the same time. Why me? I'm just a normal human. Why are they doing this to me? Me? The victim? The sacrifice? I didn't understand anything. Why was this happening to me? Two robed figures rushed to untie me, their hands shaking. I backed away, terrified. "What do you want from me?" I yelled. They removed their masks. Men, women, even a teenager, all terrified of me. "You survived," the leader whispered. "No one survives the ritual fire. You are the vessel now." "The vessel for what?" I shouted. The leader lowered his head. "For the one who is waking." I ran. I didn't look back. I expected them to chase me, but instead, they stepped aside, kneeling as I passed, scared, as if I was holy, as if I was dangerous. I eventually reached a gas station and begged for help. The workers recognized me immediately. "You are that kid who went missing, right?" one said. 3 days ago, to be precise. 3 days? 3 whole days? But to me, it felt like just a few hours. I went home thinking the nightmare was over. It wasn't. This was only the beginning of my nightmare. I started hearing whispers in my house late at night. Not outside, inside, right behind my ears. When I showered, the steam on the mirror wrote strange symbols I didn't understand. And sometimes I see shadows move without a source. Not normal shadows, shadows shaped like hands reaching toward me. 2 nights ago, something terrifying happened. I saw my reflection blink when I didn't. Last night, I woke up standing in the middle of my living room with dirt on my feet. Have I been gone somewhere? My front door was open. My car keys were on the floor. I had no memory of leaving the bed. This morning, I found something outside my door, a bone knife, identical to the one the cult leader dropped. But this time, it didn't shatter. It pulsed like a heartbeat, and carved into the blade were 5 words. The ritual still wants you. I think something is waking up inside me. Something the cult expected. Something the ritual started. And I am scared that next time I hear the whispers, I might finally understand them, despite me knowing that all of this is wrong. Very wrong. I am not holy. Never was, never will be. But if they still want me, should I go there? Or should I disappear forever, leave this town, leave this city, or even better yet, leave this country as a whole? But still, will the cult follow me wherever I go, even if I truly disappear? Or will they follow me to eternity? That is the question. I want to test this. When I bought the cabin in the mountains, the real estate agent warned me the locals were strange. I didn't care. I wanted quiet, peace, no neighbors, no noise. I am tired, to be honest. Well, I got what I wanted, too much of it. The first clue was the town itself. When I drove in, not a single person spoke. They waved politely, nodded, smiled, but never said a word. Just the place I wanted to be in, my dream place. I was tired of noise pollution, of traffic, of people shouting, laughing, talking. I thought maybe it was a cultural thing, or maybe they didn't trust outsiders. At the general store, the cashier slid a notepad toward me with a written message. Please keep your voice low. I whispered, why? She flinched, actually flinched, clapped her hands over her ears and shook her head quite quickly. I stopped talking after that. My first night in the cabin was calm, serene, full of solitude. Too calm. No wind, no birds, nothing. The silence finally felt heavy, like the whole forest was holding its breath. Around midnight, I heard a faint knocking at my door. I opened it a crack. A group of locals stood there holding candles, their faces calm, eyes wide. One of them handed me a card with printed text. No loud noises after dark. It is forbidden. I wrote back, why? What happens? They all shook their heads slowly and backed away into the forest, candles flickering. The next morning, I found something strange on my porch. A small wooden symbol, a circle with a jagged line through it. I tossed it aside. Big mistake. That night, I accidentally dropped a mug in the kitchen. It shattered on the wooden floor, loud. The moment the sound echoed, the silence outside snapped, like something in the forest woke up. I heard a deep, low vibration under the ground, like something giant shifting in its sleep. Then a whisper, not human, not close, but everywhere at once. Quiet. Please be quiet. I froze. The house trembled slightly, then everything went still again. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. The following morning, the townspeople gathered outside my cabin, dozens of them, holding signs. No sound. We told you. It hears you. You must obey. One man wrote in large letters, "The silence is our God. It sleeps beneath us." I packed my things instantly. This wasn't the place that I wanted. This was not my dream place, not at all, folks. But when I tried to start my car, it wouldn't even click. The battery had been removed because it makes noise when you start the car. Obviously, that night the wind returned, but it wasn't normal wind. It whispered my name. I locked every window, every door. I sat on the floor, hands over my ears, shaking. Around 3 a.m., the floorboards began moving up and down gently, as if the house was breathing. Then something knocked from underneath the floor, slowly, rhythmically, patiently. "Let me hear you," it whispered. I covered my mouth to stop myself from screaming. By dawn, the knocking stopped. But later that morning, the cult arrived again. Hundreds of them surrounding my cabin. This time, not with candles, with ropes, with wood, with tools. They weren't attacking me, they were building something. A wooden platform, a raised stage, with ropes tied at each corner. A sacrifice platform. One of them slipped a note through my door. "It wants the one who broke the silence." My hands shook. I didn't wait. I didn't think. I broke a window, sprinted into the forest, and didn't stop until my lungs burned. I walked for hours and hours until I found a highway and a truck driver willing to help. A truck driver that wasn't the part of this cult. I didn't tell him anything. What could I? "Hey sir, the ground at that town is still alive and wants to hear me scream." Maybe this guy was a part of them. I didn't want to talk or speak about it, obviously. But last night, in my new apartment, when I reached there, something terrifying happened. I turned on the sink. The pipes groaned, and from behind the wall, a faint whisper answered, "Found you." The silence cult wasn't worshipping a myth. Something truly sleeps beneath that town, apparently. But this isn't some god or some holy being. This is a creature that wants me. This is a monster that sleeps beneath the town, and it is controlling everything. The cult is only its tool, and now it hears me no matter where I go. Will I ever survive, or would I want to be silent forever?